So, this is a video that I didn't expect to make, but I felt that this was important to address with how much information is being thrown across the community. Before going into the video though, I do want to state some disclaimers. If you play Tower Defense X, it is in your best interest to disassociate yourself with ViciousX and any of their strats within the TDX Discord server. Any stuff that I mention in regards to ViciousX is meant to be informative and not intended to encourage further involvement with the group, as all of this should be put into the past once addressed. Do not harass any people that I mention in the video under any circumstance. It is important to be critical about the decisions that people make, but it does not justify threatening their livelihoods as a result. Unless stated otherwise, everything that I mention is what I know from my personal experience and perspective, so when going into this video, make sure to keep an open mind when it comes to hearing my opinions. With that being said, let's go over what has happened so far. On October 24th, 2025, John announced in the TDX Discord server that the ViciousX group, known for creating strategy guides for Tower Defense X, was officially declared as an exploiter group due to the involvement of an exploiter within the group known for using combat drone exploits, as well as previously being known for using Gatling gun exploits in Tower Defense Simulator, stating that they're aware of his actions and support him via being in the group. As a result, 4 high-ranking members of the group were banned. He further states that any association with ViciousX, including supporting, linking their docs, and being in their Discord server, will result in a ban, with the reason being that John does not want to entertain hackers with a platform on his game. He also states that the strategies created by ViciousX are aided by the help of exploits to get the best timings by understanding the wave layouts through reverse engineering the wave layout code. He concludes the statement by reiterating not to associate with these people. The TDX Discord staff would enforce this by banning any mention of any ViciousX strategies, which includes posts to the strategy channel and the Battlefield Queue channel, as well as revoking privileges such as being able to chat in Battlefield Queue, or, in regards to content creators, revoking their content creator status. A few hours after the initial announcement, John announced that he banned 6 more high-ranking members, with the reason being conspiring with leakers and exploiters, including a special someone he trusted, and reiterates again not to associate with ViciousX and to just move on and ignore. Before I provide my own thoughts and opinions on the matter, there are several things that I want to preface in order to give as much context on the matter as possible. I've been a part of the ViciousX group for over a year and a half. I initially joined through using one of their strategies, and one of the main reasons why I've stuck with ViciousX up until now was because I saw promise and potential within the group, a sub-community that rose from the TDX community as a result of helping other players alleviate the grind of TDX. ViciousX has also been an avenue for small creators, including me, to promote their content, and with me providing POV videos for some strategies, a sort of mutual relationship was shared in that I help share and give attention to new strategies, and those strategies help give attention to my channel. Having become one of the main figureheads of ViciousX later down the line, I never really considered and took seriously the responsibility of my position. While I did help with the strategy making process, I didn't really interact with most of the ongoings of the server that much, and primarily treated the server as a way for me to connect with close friends that I made within TDX for doing challenges and other stuff, which includes people such as Kiemans, I Like Cheese, and UTV. Being in the position of higher up implies the responsibility of being aware of these activities that are going on, so the blame for the outcome of this situation can be put on everyone in that position, including me. My only excuse is, like I mentioned before, having a lack of oversight over activities such as interacting with the playtesting team due to not assuming the responsibilities of my position, so it is not entirely incorrect to say that a part of that fault can be put onto me. The exploiter in question offered several playtesters in ViciousX to grind on their accounts in order to get the 72-hour skins while they were busy, only to be later discovered that exploits were used in the grinding process, which resulted in the members involved getting banned. This issue falls under the lack of oversight that I mentioned earlier, which also includes improper background checks and negligence, and is what primarily caused this entire incident to happen. In regards to John's statement of exploits being used to optimize strats by reverse engineering the wave layout code, based on my own experience, I can say for almost 100% certainty that exploits are not involved with the strat making process. For all the strategies that I've been involved in, some of which I am a main creator of, the lengthy process of trial and error and having to tweak the tower loadouts, upgrade steps, and skip timings is very much real. The only reason why I say almost is for strats that I have not been involved in, but I can attest to the fact that the likelihood of exploits being used to optimize strats is extremely low or zero, which I will further discuss my own thoughts later in the video. With all that being said, there's a few things I want to discuss, and the first thing I want to address is the way John approached this issue. I can understand John's sentiment when it comes to exploiters and how they're a threat to games by undermining and ruining the natural experience of playing the game. I can also understand that when it comes to dealing with exploiters, you kinda have to swing the hammer down hard so as to make your stance known clearly. However, I feel that John definitely could have handled this situation way better because the statements that he made have far-reaching implications that I would consider as concerning for the future of the TDX community. Just to reiterate before going further, any stuff that I mentioned in regards to ViciousX is meant to be informative and not intended to encourage further involvement and or support with the group, since it is in your best interest to listen to John and abide by the rules that he sets if you're currently in the TDX Discord server. Firstly, John's designation of the ViciousX group being an exploiter group is a bit harsh in my opinion. The classification implies that ViciousX in its entirety and anyone participating within the subcommunity is contributing towards the exploiter problem, hence why any mentions of being associated with ViciousX and their strategies are being banned in the TDX Discord server. This also puts to question the validity of the skill level and capabilities of some of the ViciousX members, specifically when it comes to beating newly released game modes within hours of their release. Based on my personal experience, I can attest to the fact that most of us, especially the people that I do challenges with such as Wave 200 Endless on hard and impossible maps, are highly skilled within the game and can prove so based on the amount of hours put into the game, our extensive game knowledge on tower statistics and lesser known game mechanics, and videos and live streams that further display our experience within the game in real time, which can be transferred into the strat making process as well as provide content showcasing our expertise. Secondly, John states that ViciousX strategies are aided by exploits that reverse engineer the wave layout code in order to optimize strategies to have the best rates. The issue with how John phrased it is that it is being treated as a blanket statement, which also implies that every single ViciousX strategy is being accused of being aided by exploits, which I can reasonably say is not true based on what was previously prefaced and mentioned regarding our skill levels. You could argue that banning every strat made by ViciousX is a justified way to show that exploiters will not be given any platform at all, but an opposite precedent is also set. If another strategy made by a different group is made that is closely similar to or is the same as a ViciousX strategy, does that strategy, the group that made it, and all their other strategies become blacklisted as a result? How will the integrity of future strategies that have as good of, if not better rates than any ViciousX strategies be determined based on whether or not they're created by more exploiters or players that are just that good at the game? Lastly, as I mentioned previously, there is a sort of a level of responsibility expected from people in higher ranks to deal with offenders accordingly, so it would make sense for them to be punished for dealing with them improperly. Out of the 10 total people that were banned, 7 of them were a part of the higher ranks of ViciousX, which includes Kiaman's I Like Cheese, Kazing, and Nope, people that I've played with often for doing challenges in TDX. Given that the reasons for the bans were broadly described as associating with leakers and exploiters, I'm not sure how severe the connections were to warrant ban ranges between 100 and 200 days. What I can and will say is that the way John handled some of these bans felt a bit weird to me. Most of the banned people had some connection to the exploiter, either having been directly detected using the combat drone exploit or having the exploiter added on Discord or Roblox. From what I know, Kazing had little to no connection to either that I could find aside from being a ViciousX figurehead. Something worth noting in regards to Kazing is that he is top 7 on the rank leaderboards, and since some of the people in the top leaderboard ranks have been suspected to either use exploits or automated macros to quickly grind for experience, I can only assume that he may have been picked on a suspected whim or caught in the crossfire. While a few of the bans can be seen as reasonably acceptable, if some of these bans truly didn't have substantial evidence aside from being remotely associated with the ViciousX group, then the implications of how John handles these situations as well as how capable the systems they have in place to determine rule breakers are can be seen as a bit concerning. Having said all these criticisms, I will say that I don't think ViciousX will ever make a return, let alone return to its former glory. While the existence of an exploiter being active within the group was definitely the catalyst to its downfall, I feel that another reason that John most likely had for wanting to get rid of ViciousX was the impact that it had on TDX's gameplay loop, as well as other questionable decisions that were made from the group. Strategy documents help to not only guide players on what to do to beat specific game modes, but also to accelerate and streamline a player's progression by providing efficient methods for gaining experience, gold, and crystals, essentially valuing and saving people's time. However, it can also inadvertently reduce the concurrent player count at a faster rate over time due to players experiencing everything the game has to offer sooner, which can make players become bored much quicker as a result. Even though ViciousX will be gone, other strategy groups will rise and take its place, eventually reaching the same if not greater levels of potential and popularity as ViciousX and continue to feed into that cycle. This highlights a core issue that TDX and tower defense games on Roblox in general have, a grindy progression loop where repetition benefits players the most. Even though there already are multiple methods in the game that help with progression, such as achievements, the medal system, daily and weekly missions, and the various maps and game modes available to play, players will always find a way to optimize playing the game and in turn optimize the fun out of it, which almost always results in using a single method with the best rates repeatedly. While there is no definitive solution to this problem, the best approach to it would be to make the player experience short-term goals more often. Things like actively showing achievement or mission progress as pop-ups in-game, adding reward bonus boosts to random maps at hourly intervals to encourage diverse gameplay, or adding an entire skill tree system that has enough content stretched to endgame progression or completion. This incident will definitely be remembered as a part of TDX's history, especially with how ViciousX can be considered as one of, if not the largest strategy groups and subcommunities of any Roblox tower defense game that has ever existed. I've made a lot of friends and memories through ViciousX, and my channel as well as my current content creator status in the TDX Discord server would not have gotten to this point if it weren't for the group. It is sort of sad to see it fall like this, but what's happened has happened. A part of me does wish that, at the very least, the people that I've known a long time for, trusted, and have done challenges with, such as Nope, Shindrai, Kazing, I Like Cheese, and especially Kiyomans as one of the more well-known content creators, could get their bans reduced or even appealed. But at the end of the day, it is ultimately up to John's decision. As for me, I still plan to make content for Tower Defense X, although I probably won't be making any strategy POV videos or joining any other subcommunities anytime soon. I've said this many times on prior streams, but I do see a promising future for this game. John may act unhinged at times, but I do have trust in him to keep TDX going well, especially with the game being in a good state currently. If you've been watching this video up to this point, I greatly appreciate you for sticking around, and if you're interested in me making more commentary content like this, then make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I plan to graduate from university at the end of December, after which hopefully I'll be able to put more focus into YouTube, unless life decides otherwise. I also have a Discord server that I'll link in the description if you want to be notified whenever I upload or stream, or if you want to talk with other people about TDX. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope I was able to provide some insight into the ViciousX situation.